Welcome to the RSP Boiler Room. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. Let's take a look at USC transfer Keontay Ingram, the transfer from the University of Texas. 6 feet, 222 pounds against LSU in 2019. This is a loaded defense. Does a good job getting 5 yards on this play. And this is a really great combination of patience and decisiveness on display here from Ingram, who runs a lot of gap plays on Texas. They ran a ton of counter with him, but this was a play where he had a chance to show a little more patience against zone. He rides the side of his center so that he can maximize the space against the linebacker, and then it times his acceleration perfectly downhill to get 5 yards on this play. Well, it's a little bit more clear from this angle because you're going to see him work downhill here. He knows this is unblocked. He understands that he has a double team with his guard and tackle on the number 90, the defensive tackle, that the guard is going to work up to the linebacker, number 6. In order to reach number 6, though, he has to avoid number 3. So he does a really good job of kind of timing his acceleration just enough so that he can set up the block, but then accelerate enough to avoid as much of number 3 as possible to get at least a good positive lean to get that 5-yard gain. So this is a mature play here. Now, if you're wondering about this wide open space right here, you have to understand that he's reading the leverage of his blockers. So when you have a helmet, the defender's helmet is on the outside shoulder here, he's not going to go to the outside. That's where that defender has the leverage advantage to be able to shed the block quickly and wrap up. Where he's going to go is where his 2 blockers' helmets are on the inside here. So he's confident about hitting the tight crease. And when he does, see how he works to that inside, and he's really, what I call it, scraping. He's kind of scraping the backside of his lead blocker to maximize the space between himself and this linebacker, and then dips back inside. That gives him the room right there to be able to continue for a 5-yard gain. Look at it one more time here. Slow pace. This is where he's about to accelerate, but he stays at that inside shoulder and then just dips around. And see how he just dips his shoulder around. He's able to work around. He's very comfortable with the proximity of that blocker without running into him, creating that extra space he needs, and getting the positive gain. Ingram is also a good receiver. And to me, one of the products of being a good receiver is understanding how to run routes. And while he has some work to do as a route runner to be a top-notch professional running back in the receiving game, this is promising because you're going to see him, work from middle trips and kind of scrape behind his inside receiver to get a break underneath the dropping linebacker here. And that dropping linebacker, I believe, is Devin White, Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker. He does a good job of settling in underneath the zone after working to depth. Let's look at it one more time. There's the drop back. He works to that depth, gets his, his chest facing the quarterback here. And you see him looking to this open area here. And the reason he does that is that he knows as he's dropping to depth and looking at the linebacker hasn't turned his hips or anything. He's just staring down the quarterback. So Ingram understands that he's going to be well covered here, that the defender's just going to be able to come down here hill and disrupt any target that comes to him. So he knows he's covered, and the quarterback's not likely throwing him the ball. So he squares up, sees that the quarterback hasn't let the ball go, and instead of just waiting there, he does a great job of creating by transitioning to the open space. So he continues running downhill and back towards the quarterback, angling it a nice flat break back to the quarterback, and now the ball arrives. So he's created space for the quarterback here, and he did it so fluidly. He didn't take too much time to do it. As soon as he sees that the quarterback didn't let the ball go, he transitions downhill back towards the quarterback, catches the pass with his hands at chest level, hands away from his body as much as possible there, tucks it in, takes the wrap, gets a first down. Keontay Ingram's a guy I would be watching at USC. Seems to be a smart player, can play both between the tackles, can get outside on a well-blocked play, catches the ball well. I think we're going to hear a lot more from him. He's going to have a good senior year. And if he can have a great senior year, he might be a guy that we're going to hear a lot more about on draft day or during the draft cycle. Thanks again for watching. For more RSP Boiler Room videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, Matt Waldman's RSP Film Room, and my site, www.mattwaldmanrsp.com.